Stop texting her first. I know, this sounds like game playing. It sounds like something out of a cheap dating manual. But hear me out, because if you keep being the guy who always reaches out first, always initiates, always chases, then you're slowly killing her attraction for you. It's a hard truth, but one every man needs to face. Attention is currency, and the more freely you give it, the less it's worth. Women are not wired to crave what's easily available. In fact, the very thing that pulls them in deeper, emotionally, mentally, and physically, is the subtle challenge, the space, the mystery. Now, this isn't about ignoring her. It's not about being cold, rude, or toxic. It's about value. And if you're always the first to text, you're training her brain to expect your presence without effort. You're removing the spark, the tension, the unpredictability, and when a woman no longer feels the need to wonder about you, to think about you, to miss you, you're no longer exciting. You're just there, always available, always trying, and that's where most men lose. Think about it. How often have you started out strong with a girl, texting back and forth, only to watch her slowly lose interest? It's not always what you said, it's how often you said it. It's the energy of pursuit being one-sided. When you stop texting her first, something shifts. The silence creates space. That space creates curiosity. And that curiosity, that's what brings her back. So this video isn't about games. It's about balance. It's about restoring polarity in attraction. Because once you stop chasing, you give her the opportunity to start investing. You give her the chance to wonder where you are, what you're thinking, and whether she's losing your attention. And once that shift happens, that's when she starts chasing you. 1. Texting. First makes you look desperate. Let's be real. Women can feel desperation. They might not say it out loud, but they can sense when a man is too eager, too available, too ready to please. And one of the biggest signs of that? You're always the one texting first. Now think about what that really communicates. If she hasn't replied for hours or even days, and you're the one who comes back with, "Hey, how are you?" or "just thinking about you," it tells her one thing. You've got nothing better going on. Whether it's true or not, that's how it comes across. You might mean well. You might genuinely want to connect. But in her mind, the more you chase, the less she feels the need to engage. She doesn't have to try. She doesn't have to wonder if you like her. She knows. And deep down, that kills the tension. Attraction doesn't grow in certainty. It grows in space, in unpredictability, in moments where she's not sure if you're thinking about her, and that makes her think about you even more. Look, when a man is confident, grounded, and has a full life, he doesn't feel the need to constantly initiate. He gives her room to come to him. And when a woman senses that calm energy, when she feels that you're not pressed to talk to her every second, that is what makes her curious. That's what draws her in. Picture this. You used to text her good morning every day without fail. One day you stop. No message. No emoji. Nothing. Suddenly around 11 a.m., her phone buzzes. It's her. "Hey, everything okay?" That moment? That's when the power shifts. Not because you played a trick, but because you stopped feeding her energy for free. Desperation kills attraction. It's not about being mean or manipulative. It's about pulling back enough to remind her that your attention is valuable, not guaranteed. Because the truth is, when you stop showing up first all the time, she starts wondering where you went. And that's when she starts chasing. 2. She should earn your attention. 2. Most guys were raised to believe that being the nice guy is how you win a woman over. You give her attention, compliments, time, and you expect her to like you more in return. But here's the harsh truth. When you give without her earning it, she doesn't value it. Attention is not a gift if it's handed out for free. It's a currency, and like anything valuable, it loses meaning when there's no effort behind receiving it. If you're always texting first, always showing up, always reaching out, she has no reason to try. No reason to earn your interest. No reason to wonder if she still has your attention. You've already handed it to her, wrapped, sealed, delivered. And now she doesn't feel the need to reciprocate. Here's the reality. Women are wired to desire reciprocity. They want to feel like they've earned a man's attention. If you make it too easy, there's no emotional reward, no journey, no chase. Think about this. You meet a girl, and she's friendly, but distant. You keep texting first, carrying the conversations, trying to impress her. Days go by, maybe even weeks, and you realize she never starts the convo. She replies when you reach out, but never initiates. Now imagine you pull back. You stop texting. You stop checking in. Days go by. Then, boom, she texts, "Hey, stranger." Just like that, she steps into the role of the pursuer. Why? Because the game shifted. Suddenly, your attention isn't automatic anymore. Now she has to earn it. And that's where real attraction begins. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about being a man with standards. A man who doesn't reward lazy effort. A man who respects his own time and energy enough to give it to people who actually invest back. When you expect her to earn your attention, through consistent effort, respect, and genuine interest, you set a healthy standard. And high standards don't repel women. They attract the right ones. Stop giving everything away for free. Pull back. Let her qualify herself. Let her show that she's also interested in you, because when she has to earn it, she values it. 3. The more you chase, the less she feels. Let's talk straight. Every man has been there. You meet someone and she lights up your world. You feel this spark, this excitement. So you start reaching out more. You want to talk to her all the time. You check your phone every few minutes hoping she replied. You tell yourself it's just because you like her, but deep down, you're chasing. And here's what most guys don't realize. Chasing kills the attraction she once felt for you. Attraction isn't built on constant reassurance. It's built on tension, on space, on wondering what the other person is thinking. When you're the one always reaching out, always showing interest, always proving yourself, it removes all the tension. There's nothing left for her to feel, nothing to get excited about. You've already given her everything emotionally. There's no build-up, no curiosity, no mystery. When a man chases too much, he doesn't give her the space to miss him. He smothers the connection without even knowing it. It comes from a good place, wanting to connect. But it ends up making you look like you need her more than she needs you. And once that imbalance kicks in, everything starts to feel off. She responds slower. She puts in less effort. You feel the shift, but instead of pulling back, you chase harder, hoping to win her attention again. And that's where most men lose their power completely. Because chasing is not confidence. Chasing is insecurity in motion. A confident man doesn't need to chase. He knows his value. He knows what he brings. He gives space for attraction to grow naturally, without forcing it. He lets her invest too. And when she does, the connection becomes mutual, not one-sided. So if you've been chasing, it's time to stop. Not to punish her, not to play games, but to give her the emotional space to feel something again. Because if she's going to feel anything real, she has to be part of the process too. You don't need to convince anyone to like you. You just need to stop trying so hard. Because the more you chase, the less she feels. 4. Let silence build attraction. Some of you need to hear this. You talk too much. You explain too much. You try too hard. And it's pushing her away. There's power in silence, but most men are afraid of it. The moment she doesn't reply, you panic. You double text. You apologize. You start overthinking. And what do you do next? You reach out again. You break the silence because you can't sit with it. Wake up, man. Every time you rush to fill the silence, you're exposing your fear of losing her. And guess what? That fear is exactly what's making her lose interest. Women don't fall for men who cling. They fall for men who make them wonder. Men who aren't always available. Men who have lives, focus, and boundaries. Men who aren't afraid to disappear for a while and let her come to them. Silence isn't a threat. It's a tool. When used right, it creates curiosity. It gives her space to miss you. It makes her question what you're doing, who you're with, what you're thinking. That space is where attraction grows. But too many guys kill it. They smother the connection by never letting the silence breathe. They text every morning, reply instantly, always have something to say, even when she's giving them nothing back. That's not connection. That's chasing shadows. You need to start holding your ground. If she hasn't replied, don't send another message. If the conversation is dry, don't force it. If you always initiate, stop. Let there be silence. Let her sit in it. Let her wonder why the energy shifted. Because when she starts to notice your absence, that's when she feels your presence again. This isn't about playing cold or being arrogant. It's about respecting your energy, knowing that you don't need to keep proving yourself to someone who's already seen what you offer. Real attraction doesn't grow in noise. It grows in stillness, in pause, in mystery. So stop being afraid of silence. Start using it. It might be uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort, that's you finally learning how to hold your value. 5. Women want a challenge, not a servant. Let's get something straight. Being a good man doesn't mean being her doormat. Too many guys confuse kindness with submission. You think doing everything she wants, replying instantly, complimenting her nonstop, and never disagreeing will make her like you more. But it doesn't. It actually does the opposite. Because deep down, women don't want a servant. They want a man with backbone. A man who challenges them, who holds his own, who isn't afraid to say no. When you're too nice, too soft, too eager to please, you lose edge. And without edge, there's no attraction. You become predictable, boring, and easy to control. That's not masculine energy. That's emotional submission. And the truth is, no woman is excited by a man who hands over his power just to make her happy. You think you're being romantic. She sees a man who can be bent. Now, this doesn't mean you need to be rude or disrespectful. That's not strength. It's insecurity in disguise. Real strength is knowing your worth, knowing that your attention is valuable, knowing that you don't owe her anything just because she's attractive. Attraction thrives in polarity. Feminine energy wants to feel your presence, your leadership, your confidence. That only happens when you stop acting like a servant and start acting like a man. Say what you mean. Set your standards. Hold your ground. Stop shrinking yourself just to keep the peace or avoid pushing her away. Because the moment you start doing everything for her and nothing for yourself, she stops respecting you. Women want a man who leads. A man who doesn't fold just because he's afraid of losing her. A man who challenges her to be better. Not because he's controlling, but because he refuses to lower his standards. If you want her to truly feel something real, stop trying to be her emotional support dog. Be her challenge. Be her equal. Be the man she has to earn, not the one who throws himself at her feet. Because when you act like a servant, you don't get love. You get tolerated. And you weren't born to be tolerated. You were born to be respected. 6. You're rewarding bad behavior. Let's be brutally honest here. Some of you are rewarding the exact kind of behavior that should make you walk away. She takes hours to reply. You still double text. She flakes on plans. You still ask her out again. She shows zero effort. You give her more attention. And every time you do this, you're telling her it's okay to treat you like an option. Whether you realize it or not, you're training her. You're teaching her that she can give you the bare minimum and still have you wrapped around her finger. And guess what? Once she knows that, she loses all motivation to do better. Because why would she try when you reward her for doing nothing? This is where most guys fall off. You're so focused on winning her over that you ignore the signals. You make excuses for her. You tell yourself she's busy, or not ready, or just needs time. Meanwhile, she's giving energy to other guys. And you're sitting there being loyal to someone who's barely interested. That's not patience. That's denial. You need to stop pouring energy into women who don't match it. Stop texting her when she's been cold for days. Stop complimenting her when she treats you like you're invisible. Stop chasing someone who isn't even walking toward you, because the more you reward bad behavior, the more of it you'll get. That's not just dating. That's human nature. People repeat what they're allowed to get away with. A high-value man has boundaries. He doesn't tolerate disrespect. He doesn't chase women who treat him like a backup plan. He doesn't beg for attention. You've got to realize that your time, your presence, your energy, it all means something. And if someone isn't treating it with respect, you pull it back. You don't keep giving. This isn't about punishing her. It's about respecting yourself. If she's not showing up with effort, interest, and consistency, she's showing you who she really is. Believe her, and move accordingly. Because the more you reward bad behavior, the more she learns you're the guy who'll accept anything. And you're not that guy anymore. 7. Mystery is more powerful than words. You talk too much. You explain how you feel, what you want, where you see things going. You send long texts pouring your heart out, hoping she'll understand you better. And instead, she pulls away. Why? Because mystery creates emotion. And emotion is what keeps people coming back. Most men think if they're just honest enough, clear enough, and expressive enough, a woman will feel more connected. But the truth is, too much clarity too soon kills attraction. You remove the magic. You turn the connection into a checklist. What she wants to feel isn't just what you think. She wants to feel tension, excitement, uncertainty. That's what mystery gives her. Mystery isn't about being fake. It's about holding something back. It's about letting her discover you little by little, not dumping everything out on day one. When she doesn't know exactly where she stands with you, when she has to wonder how much you're thinking about her, that's when she becomes emotionally invested. But most guys ruin that. You show your cards too fast. You tell her you like her too much, too soon. You make it too easy. You stop being a man with layers and start being a guy who's already given everything away. And once the mystery is gone, so is the spark. This is why some women suddenly lose interest, even when everything was going well. It's not because you messed up, it's because you became too predictable. You stopped being a puzzle. You became an open book with no pages left to turn. If you want to stay in her mind, stop trying to be understood so badly. Let her feel you instead. Let her experience the pause, the silence, the parts of you she hasn't figured out yet. Be less available. Say less sometimes. Let your actions do the talking. Let her wonder what you're thinking, what you're doing, how much you really like her. Because in that wondering, she starts to feel. Words are easy. Mystery is magnetic. Stop over-explaining. Stop oversharing. Let her chase the answers. Because once she feels she's figured you out, the story ends. 8. Pulling back creates curiosity. You don't need to beg for attention. You don't need to force attraction. Sometimes the smartest move you can make is to do nothing. Pulling back is not weakness. It's not running away. It's one of the strongest moves a man can make, if he knows his worth. Because when you pull back, you send a silent message. I don't need to chase you. I know my value. And that message hits different. Most men do the opposite. The moment a woman starts to act distant, they panic, they try harder, they text more, they pour out even more energy to win her back. But in doing that, they give away all their power. She doesn't feel curiosity, she feels control. But when you pull back, that's when things shift. That's when she starts noticing the silence. That's when she starts checking her phone more often. That's when her brain starts asking questions. Why did he stop texting? Did I say something wrong? Is he talking to someone else? You've now created emotional movement without saying a word. Curiosity is one of the most powerful emotional drivers in attraction. It brings people closer without pressure. It opens the door for her to re-engage. And when she does, it's her idea. That's what makes the difference. The key is to pull back from a place of strength, not as a trick, not out of fear, but because you value your energy. You're not punishing her, You're just stepping back and observing, letting her feel your absence, letting her realize what it feels like when your attention isn't guaranteed. This doesn't mean disappearing completely or ghosting her. It means shifting the energy, slowing down, giving her the space to notice the gap. Because when she starts to feel that gap, when she realizes something is missing, that's when she starts leaning in. You don't always have to do more. Sometimes doing less speaks louder. So next time you feel the urge to reach out again, pause. Let the silence work. Let the distance build the tension. Because when you stop chasing, that's when she starts wondering. 9. High-value men don't overinvest. Let's be clear. There's a difference between being interested and being desperate. A lot of guys confuse the two, and it's costing them. You start talking to a woman, and suddenly you're giving her all your time, all your energy, all your focus. You cancel plans, rearrange your day, and drop everything just to keep her engaged. You think that's how to show value. But in reality, you're overinvesting. And women can feel it. They can feel when you're putting in way more than you're getting back, and instead of making them appreciate you more, it actually makes them question your worth. Why? Because truly high-value men don't chase approval. They don't throw themselves at anyone who gives them a little attention. They stay grounded. They observe. They respond to interest, not silence. They invest where there's return. Overinvesting doesn't just make you look needy. It ruins the natural balance of attraction. You're doing too much, too fast. You're giving too much away before she's even earned it. And it kills the emotional buildup. High-value men understand this. Their time and attention are rare. Not because they're playing games, but because they're focused. They have goals. They have purpose. They're not sitting around waiting for someone to validate them. They know that a woman who's truly interested will meet them halfway. She'll text back. She'll show up. She'll invest too. And if she doesn't, that's her answer. You don't double your effort when she gives you half of hers. You match energy. You protect your peace. So ask yourself, why are you trying so hard for someone who's not trying at all? Why are you handing out boyfriend energy to someone who hasn't even shown she deserves it? The truth is, if you want to be seen as high value, you have to act like your value is real. That means being selective. That means having boundaries. That means understanding that chasing is not attractive. Balance is. Start observing how much you're giving. And if she's not matching it, pull back. Not out of anger, but out of respect for yourself. Because high-value men don't overinvest. They invest where it matters. Here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud. The moment you stop treating her like a prize is the moment she starts seeing you as one. That one shift in mindset changes everything. Most men are too busy chasing, proving, and pleasing. But the real shift happens when you flip the script. When you start seeing yourself as the valuable one. That's when women feel the pull. That's when the dynamic changes. And no, it's not about being cold or disrespectful. It's about remembering who you are and refusing to beg for what should come naturally. If she's truly into you, she'll show it. If she's not, you'll finally stop wasting your time. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you been texting first too much? Have you experienced that moment when she started chasing after you pulled back? I read every single comment, and I'll be replying to as many as I can. Let's talk. Let's connect. This channel isn't just content. It's a conversation between men who are waking up and leveling up. Stay sharp. Stay grounded. And remember, you are the prize.